Hello, today we're going to be working with subtracting integers, and so we're going to be extending what we learned yesterday. And so I wanted to pre-teach this a little bit so that, and then we'll go over this again in case you don't make the connections that I'm looking for. We're going to change a little bit of the procedure. So it looks kind of busy here, but every single problem we're going to start following the same procedure. Even though sometimes we could maybe make it a little bit simpler, we're going to go ahead and follow the same procedure every day. And so the procedure is going to be as follows. We are going to take our first number. We're going to add 0 pairs to match the second number. Okay, so let's see what that means. And then we're going to simplify. So let's see what that means. So what that means is we're going to take the first number. So in this case, the first number is -9. So we got -1, sorry, -1. So I'm going to start off with -1. So you can see here, I've actually already put my -1 out there. Okay. So now it says to subtract -9. So before we subtract the -9, I'm going to go ahead and add 9 0 pairs. So 0 pair is when you have a red and a green. In tiles, it's a red and a green. A 0 pair in numbers would be like -2 and +2. Something that's going to add to 0. So if I'm trying to subtract -9, I'm going to add 9 0 pairs. That's why I said 0 pairs match the second up here. So 0 pairs match the second. Okay, so I add 9 0 pairs. Now I go back and I do the math. So I have -1. I take away -9. So I'm going to take away. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to take these away. Let's throw them over there. Okay, throw them somewhere. Okay. All right. Now what? Simplify. Okay. So when I simplify these, I look and see, oh, when I simplify, I have a red tile and a green tile. And those can simplify. That's a 0 pair. So I can get rid of that, which leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. So I took away -9, so I took away 9 red counters, and then I simplified what was left. Okay, so let's look at this next one. First add first number. So first number is -2, so I have -2, 2 negative counters here, 2 red counters, minus -4. So since that next number is -4, we're going to go ahead and put 4 0 pairs. 4 0 pairs. Okay, so now I do the problem. -2 minus -4. -2 minus -4. All right, so I've added the 4 0 pairs, and now I am going to do -2 minus, so take away -4. So I'm going to take away these -4. And I look at what's left. I'm going to rearrange this a little bit. So what's left is this. I'm going to kind of put those together. And what we can see here is that now in the simplify kind of thing here, I have 2 0 pairs that cancel out. So I'm left with 1, 2, and my answer is 2. And notice the tiles that are left over are green. My answer is positive. Now, when we go here, I've got -3. So it's -3. So there's my first number. I'm taking away -7. So I'm going to add 7 0 pairs. And then I'm going to say, okay, now I'm going to do the problem. Let's do the math. So I take away 7. So it's -3. Take away -7. So I'm going to take away 7 negative counters. I'm going to stick them over here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and rearrange this. And I see that I've got some 0 pairs. 1, 2, 3. So I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm left with 4. Okay. All right. So everyone's going to conspire against me doing some notes today. All right. So Next problem, negative 10 minus 6. So I start off with negative 10, so 10 negative counters. And so I'm taking away negative 6, so I need to add 6 0 pairs. So now I do the problem. I have negative 10, take away negative 6. So I take away 6 negative counters. And when I do that, that leaves behind 6 positive counters. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify this. So I've got the 0 pair, 0 pair, 0 pair, 0 pair, 0 pair, 0 pair. Kind of got a little off there. And I count what's left. 1, 2, 3, 4. But those 4 counters are red. So in this case, my answer is going to be negative 4. Now, what I want you to start noticing is if I'm going ahead, if I'm taking away negative, look at what's left behind. So in this case, I took away negative 6 and I took away those negatives. Negative 6, I left behind positive 6. And then I simplified. When I took away on number 3, negative 7, I was left with positive 7. When I took away 4, I was actually left with positive 4. And I took away negative 9, I was left with positive 9. And so we're seeing kind of a pattern here. When we're taking away, we add those 0 pairs, we're taking away, we're actually ending up with the opposite left behind. And so let's go ahead and do a few more of these. All right, so negative 6. So I start off with negative 6. And all of these, in fact, I'm going to jump down because we've done some to start with negatives. Let's do one that starts with some positives. 8 minus negative 1. So we start with 8, and here's our 8 positive counters, and it's minus negative 1. So I'm get rid of that. And so we're going to put a 0 pair. Now we have to now we do the math. 8 minus negative 1. So I'm taking away the negative 1. Oh, that left behind a positive 1. Now I don't have any 0 pairs left over, so I simply count. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm left with 9. Okay, so a couple things just happened here that makes this different. We started with some positives. Our leftover was positive once we took away that negative 1. So we didn't have any 0 pairs. So like on these up here, we had to get rid of some 0 pairs. We didn't have to do that. Okay, and so we actually just added what was left. It's kind of nice. All right, 9 minus negative 8. So we start off with 9. So I had 9 counters out here. Okay, so minus 8. So I've got 8 0 pairs. So I'm going to put those in. So minus negative 8. So I've got 9. I'm going to take away negative 8. So I'm going to take away that negative 8. And I left behind positive 8. Oh, okay. They're all positive. There's no canceling. So I just count 1, 2, 3. And those of you like, oh, you had 9 and you had 8. So just add those. You get 17. You're right. You're absolutely right. So you're starting to kind of see the pattern here. And let's do 7 minus 8. Now, a lot of you look at that and go, that's easy. That's just negative 1. But let's see that with counters. So you have 7. Then we're going to minus 8. So we put in 8 pairs. And so I'm going to take away 8. Now, when I'm taking away 8, I'm taking away 8 positives. So I'm going to take away those 8. 8. Okay. And so now I've got to rearrange these because I do have some opposite colors here. So, all right, so 0 pair, 0 pair, 0 pair, 0 pair, 0 pair, 0 pair, 0 pair. So I'm left with 1 negative. And there we go. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to do these notes a little bit later on, but I wanted you guys to see that. And what I really want to you start noticing is that pattern that when I add that 0 power and do the takeaway, we always end up with the opposite. Okay, thank you guys, and I will talk to you later. Good morning.